All right. Happy Sunday afternoon. I'm going to do an update on the ProStreet group build. I'm building the 67 AMT Shelby and made some good progress since I last talked to you guys. So here's what I've got. So you notice that body's now white. Well, I started over. So I ran into a firewall issue. Basically ended up cutting that out, and I thought, well, just might as well start over. I'm glad I did, because I now can keep these inner fender wells in. I had cut them out on the last body, and the reason I keep them in is because I did mock up the engine, and the engine fits. Barely, but it fits, and I want to try to keep this as stock as possible. So that being said, I've mocked it up and got a ride height that's perfect. The stock steering mechanism that comes with the kit was stuck way out here. So because it stuck so far out, I couldn't get the front wheels to sit right. So I whittled these back. I still have a post to sit those on, and I took the original A-arms sat right there. So I just took a piece of evergreen and put it in there as a ledge so I could move it up to here. So I moved it up into the shock tower, and it gave me just enough room. So now, and of course I whittled this back too because it set too far out. And now I can set my pinion in here, and I can get this tire way back in here, and I can get it as low as I want. And it'll look stock. So that's really cool. Back end, I basically whittled out the two areas here for the wheelie bars, because I whittled this out where the actual rear end sat, so I could get my rear end lower on this car, and and basically put this as a base in there. So, and then I basically took a pin vise and basically drilled out the holes, and now we're sitting perfect. What else did I do? Oh, so when you get this kit, the interior pieces come together like that. Well, I'm deleting the rear seat. In order for me to have a jig to work off of, to basically put pieces in here that delete the rear seat and get it to fit right, it was easier for me to just cut them in half. So that's what I did. And as a result, now I have something I can work with. It's basically a jig, and this sits in perfect. So we're moving forward, and we're almost done with all the fabrication. Matter of fact, I think we are, as a matter of fact. And now I can move forward to start painting and start putting this thing together. I did have an opportunity. IPMS Nationals came to town, and I did have an opportunity to I had an opportunity to attend it. Saw some really cool builds, and I really am impressed with the overall talent level that was in that room. There was a lot of cool builds. One in particular was all scratch built, and I think he won best of show, but that thing was just ridiculous how much time and effort. He said it took him 2 years to build it. So made me want to build a plane. So maybe I'll have a plane in the future. But they had vendors, of course, and when I went to the vendors, one of the vendors there was Scalemates, and I had an opportunity to talk to James, the owner of Scalemates, and his wife, and I had an opportunity to see what he had, and he sells House of Color. So I looked at his House of Colors, and he had these two sitting on sale. This is the cinnamon, And when you flip this over, look at the flake in that. There is a lot of flake in that. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but this is a really cool color. And cinder red. And if you look at the bottom, all the flake is rested down. It's a silver flake that's in here. Look at all that flake. That's a pretty impressive color. So I bought those two. He had them like 10% off or something like that. They were 10 bucks. So how could I beat that? So I started testing these, and James Hart put out a video, and he talked about, he was basically painting his body on his Nova that he's building currently. And he talked about light coats and light coats and light coats. So I just wanted to show you what happens. Now, I was testing this House of Color paint just because it's the first time I've worked with it, and I just wanted to see how aggressive it is to plastic. So this is the cinnamon over black, which is probably the color I'm going to go with. Let's see if I can put my hand behind it. Yeah, that's the color I'm going to go with. But that's nice and smooth with a couple imperfections from some trash that was on there, but pretty smooth. Now, this is what happens when you spray this stuff wet. And it basically collects. For anybody that has never worked with this type of paint, this is basically automotive paint, and this is what can happen if you let it collect. I don't know if you can see that, but see that crazing right there? I call it road rash. I think the technical term is crazing, but that's what happens when you collect it and you get it wet in one spot. So I was just testing to see if it was going to do that, and then Splash Colors does that. This one's probably a little bit more unforgiving than Splash is, but this is over the gray, and then I sprayed it over white, and I tried it again, and I got the same effect. If you see all that crazing right there, and there's no way to get that out. The only way to get that out is to dunk it and start over. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use a 2K primer, or maybe build up some primer. But the primer that I used on this was actually Duplicolor. So that's that's the cinnamon. This is the cinder red. That's cinder red over black. Kind of has a pinkish hue to it to me. And I think this is over the white. With that silver flake, it really does make it look pink. And then this is the color I'd probably go with. I think it's over the gray. So these are really impressive colors. Got a lot of flake in them. I might even go with this one. But for this model, the palette I'm going to choose is that. That is the color that's going to be on this model. That almost, to me, that looks like a candy orange. So that's the color we've chosen. So I think we're moving forward, and we're going to get to where we want to go, and everybody's happy. So that's it for my update today. I will have an update later today announcing my Martin tribute build. I did have a chance to go to the hobby store and spend a lot of money, so I bought, oh, these are the tires. I guess I should show you those. So I've worked these tires, so I always round off the corners. I showed this in another video, and I always like to sand the outsides and the tread. To me, that makes it look more realistic. So I will be covering this with some form of clear, and then I will put decals on here, and then I will cover that in a dull coat. So I bought some brown panel liner, which is really good. if you want to use this wash on an engine, which is exactly what I'm using this for. I also got some, my favorite primer, by the way, is Mr. Finishing 1500. You can see everything with this stuff. Any flaws or imperfections in the body, it will stand out like a sore thumb with this primer. What else did I get? Got a couple Alclad. I'm a big Alclad fan, so I got the dull aluminum, and I got the transparent smoke, and then I got some aqua gloss for protecting it, and then I got just a clear, they're clear semi-gloss, semi-matte clear. Good stuff. And that's it. That's all I got for today. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys have a good Sunday. This is Terry. I'm out.